the law of impersonality, and we spoke a little bit about this, compels us and tells us to begin to make the effort to see every aspect of the human experience and your own human experience as not so much of a personal experience as much as an impersonal process. And anybody can do that, but you just have to make the effort to through introspection and contemplation, which is you pay attention to the nature of your own experience, and you begin to notice and see, because it's just a shift in orientation. Is this more a personal experience, or is this really an impersonal process? Is not even the fact that it seems like a personal experience and a universal and impersonal human phenomenon. So in other words, I may feel that what I'm feeling or thinking is very personal. It feels very personal to me. And you may feel that whatever you're thinking or feeling is very personal to you, but the fact that you feel it's personal to you and I feel it's personal to me is exactly the same sentiment. We're actually experiencing exactly the same sentiment. It's a completely impersonal phenomenon. See my point? Which means there's nothing personal about it. That's the whole point, is there really is nothing personal about it at all. And the idea is when you contemplate the nature of your experience from this non-personal perspective, you begin to have intimations and breakthrough insights where you recognize, bang, over and over again, bang, bang. You start to see through the illusion of the personal. You see through the illusion of the personal sphere, and you recognize over and over and over again in many different ways that it's not real. When I say that it's not real, it doesn't mean that your experience doesn't feel personal. It sometimes feels very personal, but I'm just saying even the experience of it feeling personal is completely impersonal. See my point? Which means that it isn't personal at all, as I just said. But really understanding that, is important, and you need to get it not once, twice, but thousands of times, over and over again. You have to really be hit over the head with this recognition. It's not as personal as it seems. It's completely impersonal. We're all having the same experience. We're all having the same personal experience. We're all having the same personal experience. We're all having the same personal experience. So that's when you're going now you're starting to creep into the upper half of the model then. When you go from the personal to the universal. And so it's when you enter into the fourth tenet dimension that you begin to enter into the universal or process perspective. You begin to see life, including your experience of life and consciousness, as part and parcel of a process, a deep time developmental process. You are part and parcel of a process. The process is not personal. It's all an impersonal process. One of the manifestations and expressions of that process is the apparent feeling experience of some kind of personalness. But even that is part and parcel in the expression of a universal and personal process. See my point? So then the fifth tenet of the teaching is called for the sake of the whole. So the fifth tenet of the teaching is about the transformation of the individual motive or motivation. So when we begin because we ourselves want to evolve, want to become enlightened, want to transform. As we enter into the process, as we begin to awaken, as we evolve, it becomes clear to us that it's not really about us, it's about the process. And I've been saying that quite a bit over the last few days. It's not about us as individuals as much as it is about the process. So why do we want to evolve? Why do we want to develop in the most deep and profound way? It's for the sake of the evolution of the process itself. It's for the sake of the evolution of consciousness. It's for the sake of the evolution of the process. So this would be the evolutionary reinterpretation of the ultimate declaration of surrender. Not my will, but thy will be done. So not my will, but thy will be done means it's not for me, but it's for the sake of the evolution of the process itself. Why am I doing this? Why do I want to evolve? Why do I want to leave myself no other options? Why must I come to the end of ambivalence and division? Why must I become serious about being alive once and for all? It's for the sake of the evolution of the process, not for my sake, but for the sake of the evolution of the process.